What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Crypto Cabin. My name is Tom, and in today's video we're going to be going over the cryptocurrency markets as a whole, see how they're doing after last night, taking a look at my Bitcoin and Ethereum trades, see how they're doing, as well as go into a little bit of TA. Please keep in mind that these notifications and video updates are extremely time sensitive, so if you don't want to miss anything, make sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell, and click on all, and then you'll be notified whenever I post new videos. I do live in the middle, kind of in the middle of nowhere, with very slow, relatively slow internet. So by the time I get everything filmed, edited, and uploaded, it could be an hour, a couple hours after I actually am recording this. So make sure to hit that subscribe button, click the notification bells, and take everything with a grain of salt. And without any further ado, let's jump right in. So we had a little bit of dumpage last night. Nothing major though. The overall, in the last 24 hours, I believe this is what that number is, says we're still up. So we did have a dump, and then we did have a pretty big pump back up, actually. So a lot of these coins are down over the last 24 hours, except for good old Doge. Look at that. Once again, that's absolutely crazy. Like I mentioned yesterday, if you haven't been taking profits on Doge, if you do own Doge, I don't own any, but if you haven't been taking profits, now would be a good time to take at least that initial investment off the table. And then what I've mentioned before, especially on TikTok, if you're not following me over there, go follow me there. But if you are, in some of these smaller cap coins, set a target for when you're going to take some profits. Like even if it's 5%, 10%, or that initial investment off the table. Like in my opinion, after you 5x, maybe take that initial investment off the table, then you're just playing with house money at that point. So take that initial investment off, and then maybe partway up, you again want to take a little bit of profits. I mean, all indications are still that we are going to keep going for a few more months at least in this bull cycle, but you never really know with some of these smaller cap coins for sure. Some that have been around for a long time. I mean, I know Doge has been around for a long time. Litecoin's been around for a long time. Same thing with Chainlink. Some of these that were around in the last bull run, they are probably going to stick around, but some of these newer ones you just aren't always sure. I know, like obviously Uniswap and Polkadot are new, but they've got great technology, so I'm not too worried about those. Those are two of my bigger holdings, but I mean, like I said, we're going to need to wait and see. But taking profits on the way up is always a good strategy. No one ever went broke taking profits, right? So make sure that you're doing that, and then but still leaving some room for growth, right? So if we take a look at Bitcoin, for example, from the last, let's look at the last one. So a good strategy, I mean, after it's kind of maybe you had a number set at like, you were like, okay, at 5K, I'm taking profits. At 10K, I'm taking some more profits. At 15K, I'm taking some more profits. It never got to 20K. But a lot of people, if you're trying to time the very top of the market, it's just not going to happen. Like you hitting this exact peak is not going to happen. So what you're going to need to do is take some profits at specified points that you've predetermined for yourself based on your analysis and what you think seems like it's going to be realistic. Take profits at certain points, but I would say, in my opinion, this is what I'm going to do, is always leave a little bit in the tank, or leave a little bag, because you never know if it's going to go up another, right? Like right at the end here, it was 10K on December 1st. It went up another $8,000, $9,000. It almost doubled actually. By the time we peaked, it almost doubled in less than a month, right? So always leave a little bit of a home run bag there. That's what I'm planning on doing, and then you can start selling a little bit on the way down as well, because you're never going to time the top. So take some profits on the way up. After we've kind of identified that we've hit the peak, take a little bit of profits on the way down as well, and then this bear market phase that we all talk about, we are assuming is going to come until history changes. We're assuming some sort of bear market is coming. That is when the reaccumulation phase can happen with the profits that you just took out. Moving on over to my Bitcoin trade and what was going on there. So if you watched my video from yesterday, you'll know that I set a stop loss in profits here, right at kind of where these two had wicked down. So I set it right about 62.2, which allowed me to retain a lot of what I could have lost. I wouldn't have got stopped out or liquidated or anything like that if I would have set it down here, but I did still lock in some more profits, and then I set a buy order. It was at 61.5 because that was a pretty solid level of resistance or support, which I thought, and it actually dipped down quite quite a bit lower, and so I am back into a smaller position now. Yesterday I was in about a $2,000 position. Now I'm at $500. Slightly in profit there. The realized P&L, this is from the funding rate and everything. So when I'm talking about funding rate, I'm looking over here. So this is what it costs to keep your trade open. These funding rates are actually pretty high right now, but it does look like the predicted rate is going to go down shortly. So that's always something to keep an eye out. If it looks like you're up in this trade, $14 or whatnot, but if you were to exit this trade, you would actually be down $15 because of the realized P&L, which is coming from those funding rates there. So make sure to check that out before you exit. Taking a look at some positions here that I have set. So these lines here are obviously some buy orders. I've got 4 active orders to buy. So whenever somebody says always play from a position of strength, this is kind of what we're talking about. I know I've heard, well, Tika Tawari, if you follow some of his work, I'll be posting a video about his next $1 trillion coin tomorrow, which is not all that complicated to figure out when you really look into it based on what his emails and stuff have been. But anyway, he always says let the game come to you, which means we don't want to go chasing these green candles when they spike up. So we wait for these dips, get into good positions, and have money behind in order to buy a little bit more if it does come down. What I'm looking for here is potentially coming down to maybe test this 59.4 and where this trend line, so this horizontal support line and this upward sloping support line, where they converge would be kind of like my lowest target. If it does wick down further, I do have buy orders down there just in case. But you can see here that when these horizontal support lines have met with the rising trend line, it's bottomed out, rallied up big time. It happened once there, happened twice there, and then rallied up big time. So if it does come down to meet, so if we do come down to meet this trend line here with this red support line at 59.4, then I would be expecting a big bounce up. I mean, we might not come down that low. We might dip down a little further. I want to make sure that I've got all my bases covered. So I've got buy orders set right down here. Like I said, we're kind of in this descending channel right now. If we do end up breaking up out of there, I may put in another long position. But as always, like I mentioned yesterday, we do need to take into consideration that we are in this ascending wedge here, which is typically bearish, like I mentioned yesterday. But once again, with Bitcoin, if you follow the Crypto Love It All, Randall from Crypto Love It All, he showed, right, 50% of the time, it actually breaks to the upside in a ascending wedge with Bitcoin in a bull run. So all things that we need to just be prepared for. There's always a bullish scenario, there's always a bearish scenario. So we want to make sure that we are prepared for both and doing our own TA and looking at the news, the media, seeing what's going on there. A lot of that is sometimes just FUD, but some of it can definitely impact the way that the price moves. Like you've kind of seen when Elon Musk talks about Doge, or he put Bitcoin in his profile, the price literally shot up. So we need to be paying attention to that stuff as well. But purely TA, that's kind of the setup that I have for now. I am in, like I said, a smaller position, so we will see how this plays out. So what I'm kind of expecting to happen here after this little dump is potentially coming back and forth within this channel for a little bit until maybe we do come down to retest this trend line. If we do test that, like I said, I've got some buy orders set down there, and then I could see us taking off again. Something like that. We might meet some resistance obviously back at this 61.5 and then the top of this wedge here as well. But if we do break to the upside, I do feel like there's still this price target from, if you followed me on TikTok for a while, I talked about there was a triangle pattern forming actually all the way kind of like this. It was all the way back to February, end of February. There's kind of this triangle that was trending upwards like that. That's typically a very, very bullish pattern if it breaks out to the upside, and we did. And now potentially all this is coming back down to retest that. So as long as we stay above this, kind of where the top of the triangle was, right around, I mean, it's in between, it's in between 59 and 61. If we don't break down below this $59,000 level, which would also be below this trend line, then I think we are in good shape to get this kind of bounce and retest and then shoot back up. So that's what I'm playing, but I've also, like I said, I'm prepared for other things to happen as well. And I don't have a stop loss set right now, but that's always, I say you should set something. So my liquidation price is 58.8, but that means that as this comes down, if my buy orders get hit, that will also lower my liquidation price, and then I'll play it by ear. If we do get down there, I'll definitely make sure to set a stop loss so I don't have anything terrible happen. Moving over to Ethereum here. So Ethereum, very similar. We did get some major dumpage today, going from all the way from 25, almost 2560, coming all the way back down to 2300. So that is shaping up to look like a potential line of support here at 2300. I just added that line in. And then this line I accidentally drew for some reason. But we've got that horizontal line there, and then 2500 is kind of a psychological level of resistance there. So what I have done here, based on my other lines, is I've got a buy order set right here where the purple and the yellow lines intersect there, which is right at around 2275. And then I've got another buy order set a little lower. I am staying patient with this. These may not get filled. I'm not expecting it to come down that low. I just am prepared for if that happens. And then I'm looking to maybe get into something. I'll have to play it by ear, but these are where my buy orders are set right now. So like I said, not by my computer all the time, but if it does ever come down that low, I do want to have something just in case that happens. RSI isn't too crazy high. We aren't in the overbought territory, which is where we were before. I didn't enter anything here because we were very overbought. This is in the 4 hour. Didn't get anything there, and it still kept going up, right? So now we've got that dump, and now we're letting that RSI correct a little bit, and now we'll see. We will see. So staying patient with ETH still. Nothing major happening there. Thank you so much for watching, everybody, and if you would like to start your trading journey, you can go on down to the links below. I've got links to Phemex and Bybit. They've got some sign-up bonuses there for you. So you sign on up with my links, you get a bonus, I get a bonus. Fair deal. You can trade with that bonus and get started with your trading. Make sure to take some profits. Always set those stop losses if you are in profit, and make sure that you don't get wrecked, and make sure to limit your risk as much as possible. So always be responsible with those trades, and thanks again for watching. Like I said, don't forget to like and subscribe, share with your friends if you want to push this video out to more people, and that helps me grow my channel a little bit, and the algorithm likes it. So let's get it.